Hi, welcome to Adhvaitha, and in this video series we were discussing about the 78 principles of reality transurfing and how different teachings from Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita correlate with some of the principles of reality transurfing and how we can understand reality transurfing better by understanding different concepts from Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads. So this was my intention in creating this video series. Now let's look at the third principle, which is the child of God. There is a small particle of God in every one of us. You are a child of God and your life is God's dream. By shaping your own reality with the power of intention, you fulfill God's will. Your intention is God's intention. As this is the case, how can you doubt that your intention will be realized? All it takes is to claim the right. When you ask God for something, it is just the same as if God had asked something of himself. Can God really ask something of his or herself? Is there any one person alive from whom God would ask for something for himself or herself? God just takes what he or she wants. Do not ask, demand, or strive. Shape your own reality by the way of conscious intention. Now let's look at the interpretation. The world is a theater of dreams in which God is simultaneously a member of the audience, an actor, a script writer, and a producer. As a member of the audience, God observes the play that is unfolding on the stage of the world. As an actor, God feels and experiences everything in the same way as the character whose role he or she is playing. God creates and controls reality through the intention of all living things. God placed a part of his will together with the soul in every living being and then sent them out into the dream, into life. God gave every living soul the freedom and power to create their own reality by the measure of their awareness. Practically all living beings omit to use the power of intention consciously and with clear purpose. In a state of non-lucid dreaming, it is as if they are vaguely aware of wanting something without really knowing what exactly. Their intentions are therefore blurred, vague, and mostly unconscious. In this respect, man has developed little more than animals. The pendulums have not only succeeded in taking away people's awareness of their own abilities, they have perverted the very meaning of life, replacing the notion of being used of God with worship, whereas in fact, the true goal of life and the idea of service of God consists in co-creation, creating together with God. So this again is a very powerful concept. In the Bhagavad Gita, in one of the shlokas, Lord Krishna talks about two concepts. One is Jivatma and another one is Paramatma. So it is crucial for us to understand these concepts in order to understand this principle of transurfing better. Jivatmas are individual points of experiences. So I'm speaking, you are listening to this. So we are all Jivatmas, and Jivatma can mean conditioned consciousness, whereas Paramatma can mean pure consciousness. Paramatma or Brahman is the essence of this entire universe, from which everything has emerged and to which everything will subside. So this is the entire concept on which the Vedanta and Bhagavad Gita and all these scriptures based on. Now let's look at an example to understand the concept of Jivatma and Paramatma better. Let's look at space, the empty space. There is no boundary to space, there is no particular shape or form or color or nature to space. So it is something that is shapeless, formless, at the same time it exists. So let's consider this as Paramatma. Now imagine a clay pot. Now within that clay pot is also space. Let's assume that this space is Jivatma. So the space within this clay pot is Jivatma and the space around the clay pot and everywhere is Paramatma. Now the only reason for the space within that clay pot to exist is because of the clay pot itself. Now that clay pot represents our conditioning. So we are conditioned by our past experiences, by our past karma and so many memories and data. So all this has conditioned us in a certain way, and all this conditioning is represented by that clay pot. So because of the conditioning that we have, we experience reality in a certain way. Now, if we remove that conditioning, we will experience everything as one. That is how we can break that clay pot. Once we break away the clay pot, there is no way to differentiate between the space outside and the space within the clay pot. Because once we break it, the pot does not exist. And by breaking the clay pot, we are dissolving the conditioned consciousness with the pure consciousness. This is the goal for any spiritual seeker, which is ultimate liberation and liberation from the conditioned mind. So this is what Bhagavad Gita mainly focuses on. The reality transurfing model focuses on how to create the physical reality the way we want to. Whereas most of the Indian scriptures, including the Gita, focuses on ultimate liberation or enlightenment. But I think both are important. Until we live here on this planet, it is important that we live our lives the way we truly want to. We should have the power to experience what we want to. We should be able to earn how much ever money that we truly desire. We need to be able to spend how much ever we wish to. So all these things are important as long as we are here. At the same time, we should remember our ultimate goal of liberation, because with that we will have a clear perspective and a clear point of view on life and the ultimate purpose of life. So that is why I think when we mix the knowledge that we gather from Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads and mix it up with reality transurfing model, what we get in return is something very interesting through which we can live our lives the way we want to, at the same time progress spiritually towards the ultimate liberation. So I hope this video was helpful to you, and I hope this video series is helpful. If you find information like this helpful and useful, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel and you can like this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.